Hey, it's Lee, and I'm here with another pizza review, frozen pizza review, I should say. And today's pizza is Ilios Pizza Margherita. Um, I have never had an Ilios pizza. I believe it's kind of almost like it says handmade, wood-fired, things like that. So it's supposed to be kind of like fancy. Certainly not cheap. I don't remember what I paid for this, but I know it was a lot more than if this was made by one of the bigger brands. So we'll see what happens. It says it's a product of France. Not sure France is known for their pizza, but whatever. This is not a very big pizza at all. It's 330 grams, so it's going to be pretty thin, I think, and relatively small. And the instructions say to cook at 410 degrees, which is a weirdly specific number. And it says, I believe, 12 to 15 minutes. So let's take it out of the wrapper and see what it looks like. Again, I apologize for the shaky cam. I cannot fix it. For some reason, there's no kind of a feature to fix that in, at least not on the phone. And I'm too lazy to figure it out otherwise. All right. This is interesting. This is the first time I've ever seen this. This cheese is already cooked. Normally you can kind of see like regular cheese and it essentially crisps itself up in the oven. The heat of the oven actually warms it up. This looks like it's already been baked and I'm essentially reheating it at this point. Strangely, it takes about the same amount of time to reheat this pizza as it takes to cook most other pizzas. So that's going to be odd. But I'm for it. It looks like it's got really good cheese coverage, so I can't complain. Let's run the experiment. I'm going to toss this in the oven. We'll see what happens. All right, the pizza is out and it is ready to be cut. Looks pretty good, but it already kind of looked good before it even went in. So we'll see how this goes. Definitely crispy. Actually, let's cut it again before we check the... What do they call it? The undercarriage? Is that what they call it? I think that's what Portnoy calls it. I wasn't very familiar with him when I started this channel. Now I am, though. Everybody says, oh, so you're copying that guy. And I guess I was. I didn't realize because he started before I did. So let's take a look here. All right, this looks like a... Oh, it looks like it was pre-cut or something. I should have checked that first. Also looks almost like a cracker crust, right? It's like... I don't know. All right. I'm going to taste this, and when I'm back, I'll have a review. I'm ready to review this pizza. Let's start with the crust. Based on its thickness and how crispy it felt, I thought it would be super pasty. It wasn't. It was definitely pasty, but it wasn't super pasty. I didn't need to drink while I ate it necessarily. I definitely will need to drink afterwards. Margarita's usually got some fresh tomato on it, or at least some fresh basil typically, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I should know this, but for some reason I feel rusty on this front. This tastes like a plain cheese pizza. And even though I see these like occasional tiny flecks of green here, this pizza has almost no herbaceous flavor to it. Like most pizzas, it seems to be lacking in sauce. I find all frozen pizzas could benefit from a little bit more sauce. The cheese, I'm not sure I would melt the cheese before I put this pizza in the oven. Like if I had a choice, I'd probably let the cheese melt as it cooks because grease comes out of that cheese and kind of moistens the pizza. This was fairly dry because the cheese is kind of like it definitely has a texture of cheese. It's just, it's not stringy. There's no kind of saltiness or grease coming out of it. So it's just kind of there as a top layer. You know, this doesn't have any meat on it. Pepperoni would certainly add some salt to the mix and probably be a nice thing. I also have a 4-cheese version of this coming, so I'm interested to see if that's any different. The sauce is interesting, right? Because I said they need more of it. it's got a lot of tomato flavor. It doesn't have a lot of herb flavor, but it has a lot of tomato flavor. So I'm going to give the sauce a little bit of a thumbs up on this front. Overall, it's definitely okay. It's just trying to kind of place it among other pizzas is challenging because it doesn't really have that one standout item. And the one thing that's kind of good on it, it could use twice as much of. And it's not, it looks like in the middle here, there's a lot of sauce. Maybe I've just eaten the edges so far. So maybe that'll kind of balance itself out. I can't go very high on this score. It's realistically, this is probably I've probably given 6 out of 10s to worse pizzas than this, but to me, this is a 6 out of 10 today. Yeah, that's as high as I'm going to go. Oh, I didn't even use the props, but it's 5 over here and 1 over here. All right. Thanks for watching.